Did you know the United States is still producing $2 bills as we speak? That's right. You can literally go to your local bank and pick up brand new $2 bills. All you have to do is ask. Honestly, I do it all the time. I constantly keep at least a few $2 bills in my wallet so I can pay with them as a tip, or when I'm buying something at the grocery store. Whenever I pay with them, people lose their mind. They think it's the coolest thing ever. The reality is, a lot of these $2 bills are only worth $2, but in this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly what to look for on your $2 bill that makes it worth a ton of money. So stay tuned and let's just hop right into this video with this first bill from 1976. So this is the bicentennial $2 bill. That means 200 years. You can see on the back of the bill, this is the Declaration of Independence depiction of what's going on back in 1776. So this is a tribute to a very important time in United States history. What's really crazy about this $2 bill is it's a very small detail that a lot of people will simply look over. One thing I want to show you is the fact that PMG graded this banknote at a 66 EPQ. Now 70 is the highest grade, and when it comes to grading your bills, the centering is really important. You can see the margins on the left and right. The left margin's a bit small, the right margin's a bit thicker. The better centered your bill is, the more rare and valuable it's going to be. But there's a big caveat. You cannot have a single fold on your bill. The moment you have a fold going anywhere into the design of your bill, the condition is going to drop down to at least an AU, almost uncirculated, 58. The higher the condition your bill is in, the more money it's going to be worth. Now that we got that out of the way, what makes this $2 bill so rare and valuable is the fact that it's actually an error note. So you may not have noticed already, but this is what we call a mismatched prefix error. So on the serial number, you have a prefix and a suffix. The prefix is the first letter in the serial number. The suffix is the last letter, which is an A here. But you can tell at the bottom left serial number, the prefix is an H, and at the top right, the prefix is a B. This is a big no-no, a big oopsie, as some would say. Easy way to tell is if you look at the district seal on the left, that big black seal with a large letter B, that letter inside of that district seal should always match the prefix. For example, that large letter B is matching the right serial number, which starts with a B. But you can see it does not match the bottom left serial number that starts with an H. So the H and the B, they're not the same, and that is what makes this bill so rare because it's a mismatch error and it sold for $432. Now this one sold for $1,860, and it is none other than a star note. So a star note is, as you can see at the end of the serial number on the suffix, it is replaced by a star. So the star means it's a replacement note. Every print run, the United States will issue a large number of star notes with the understanding that there are going to be a lot of errors in production naturally. So as they're printing these paper money bills, sometimes mistakes happen, and what they do is they will destroy sheets of paper money, but they need to still have banknotes to replace those. So what they do is they print these replacement notes just to start off to make sure, hey, if we need any more replacement notes, we can just replace the messed up ones with these. Combine this with an incredibly high grade of a 69. You can see very quite easily that the margins are pretty dang close to perfect. You can see that it's relatively equal all the way around. There are some other factors like maybe a bit of handling or some imperfections on the bill that will keep it away from a 70, but this bill got graded at a 69 and it sold for $1,860. Now when you're looking at the back of this $2 bill, you'd have no idea why it sold for $2,160. I do want to say that the back of the bill is really important for a few reasons. One, the back is actually the first printing of the bill, and two, you have what's called a backplate number. Now a backplate number is used for internal purposes to see where that specific backplate was located on a printing plate. Now sometimes, depending on the size of the backplate number, if it's smaller or bigger than the front plate number, that could mean you have a mule note. Now mule notes are pretty rare and valuable, and this note is not a mule note, but it's important to know that that can increase the value. Now when you flip it over to the front, you can see the front of the bill, everything that is not upside down is the second print, and everything you see that is upside down here is called the overprint, and that is the third and final print on a US federal currency note. This bill, because the overprint is inverted, it sold for $2,160. Now up next, we have a genuine United States legal tender note. So this bill is from 1963, and when I show people this bill, they think that it's fake. The reality is it's definitely real, and it sold for $5,520, mainly because of this crazy high grade of a 70 EPQ. So this note achieved the one and only perfect grade of 70. You're simply going to have a huge value add on a bill like this because of this grade. Now, typically 1963 $2 bills are not going to be worth anywhere near this amount of money, but if the margins are perfect, there's no folds on your bill, and you're able to achieve a perfect grade of 70, that's why this bill was able to sell for $5,520. Now, if you want to learn more about coins and paper money really quick, we have a completely free coin and currency ebook down below. Check that out. It goes over coin handling, currency grading, everything you need to know, so check that out. But up next, we have a bill that sold for $6,600. That is a 1976 $2 bill. This one, once again, is that Declaration of Independence back bicentennial $2 bill. This is what we call a serial number one. So serial number ones are without a doubt some of the most collected $2 bills and just banknotes in general. If you have a serial number one bill, you must get it looked at by a professional. We're willing to look at your bill too because we love these really rare serial numbers. The last thing you want to do is take the first offer that someone gives you, especially if you feel that it is too low. Try to maximize the value of your bill. You know, if you quickly need cash, I would just go to 3 different coin shop owners or just experts, see what they have to say about your bill. If they all say the same thing, they're probably telling you the truth. You know, there are a lot of bad people out there, but there are some good. So just kind of feel them out, see what you think. You have to understand that these coin shops are businesses, right? They have overhead costs, they have employees to pay, they have all of these expenses, so they have to make a little bit of money off of you. But I have a problem when it comes to these pawn shop owners or other people that are trying to hit these giant home runs. You know, they're trying to offer you $500 for a bill and then sell it for $10,000. It makes no sense to me. It's just immoral. It is wrong. So be careful, do your own homework and research, and understand that if this bill was to have graded higher, it would have sold for a lot more money than $6,600. Now, this next note right here is a 1928 legal tender note. It sold for $9,900. Very beat up, not the best condition, but because it's a 1928B star note, really hard to come by. Every graded condition higher than this will naturally bring more money than $9,900, but 1928 is also the first year the US started producing small size paper money. Before 1928, all US federal currency was large size, so it was called horse blanket notes because it was so large it looked like you could throw it over a horse. It's a metaphorical phrase. It doesn't actually mean they were that big, but they were much bigger than what we're used to seeing. Long story short, this 1928B star note legal tender bill got graded at a choice 15 and it sold for $9,900. This one is a 1928E. You can see the condition is much better at a 64 EPQ. It is a star note once again, and it sold for $26,400. Now this one right here sold for $79,312.50. This is that large size paper money bill I was talking about, except this one is from 1869. Now this is called a rainbow note. Rainbow notes are a beautiful series when it comes to US federal currency. It is a legal tender bill, large size. You can get this banknote from 1869 in a 1, 2, 5, 10, all the way up to I believe 1,000. It is spacing my mind right now, but still, these are really beautiful pieces of US history. You can tell the reason why they call these rainbow notes is because you have the blue security fibers on the left-hand side of the bill. These are anti-counterfeiting measures to deter counterfeiters. Then you have the green ornate background design across the top, and then you have a red seal, which is really a spiked, beautiful, large red seal on the right-hand side. All of these colors make it a very collectible piece of US history, and that is why people call it a rainbow note. The back has the large 2 in the center, the Roman numeral 2 on the left, and the spelled out English 2 on the right, along with these very beautiful ornate designs on the back. These are all with the intent to deter counterfeiting. Very beautiful note, and the 68 grade is a monstrous grade for this banknote. That is why this one was able to sell for nearly $80,000. If you enjoyed this video, pick up your currency guide down below. It is completely free, and we will see you in the next video.